Hey guys, Vegito here, and welcome back to the Potara podcast. And I welcome you to our first ever full story video. And this is for our first Potara podcast What If, which is What If Roxy helped Gregory instead? Now, for those of you wondering why I did this, well, I decided to put all the parts into one video so that I'll cut out the intros and outros. That way you get the whole story in one compact package. Now, let's get into the full story of What If Roxy helped Gregory instead. We begin our tale with Glamrock Freddy, Montgomery Gator, Roxanne Wolf, and Glamrock Chica getting ready for a musical performance. However, right when they are about to start, Roxy malfunctions and collapses. Roxy then wakes up in safe mode and says, "Showtime already. I must be malfunctioning. The recharge cycle isn't complete." As the rest of this interaction goes as canon. Although, instead of hiding in a chest cavity, Gregory ends up hiding in Roxy's hair, with Gregory informing Roxy of this. With Roxy getting rather upset and angrily tells the boy to get out of her hair, with Gregory doing as such, with Roxy saying, "Found you," as she scans him with her eyes, with Roxy saying that his guest profile is unknown to her, and asking him who he is, with the boy introducing himself to Roxy as Gregory. Roxy, after learning this information, says she will notify the main office, with a connection error happening, with Roxy saying that she can't connect to the main network. Gregory then says, "It's her! She cut you off! She's not gonna let you call for help until she finds me." Roxy then inquires if it's Gregory's mom looking for him, with Gregory telling the wolf to be quiet, as he hears footsteps. Gregory then looks out the window of Roxy's green room, with the boy seeing Vanessa, the nighttime security guard. Roxy then tells Gregory that maybe Vanessa could help him, but Gregory tells Roxy that he doesn't trust her, that she's out to get him, and asks Roxy if there's a way that she can communicate with him besides talking so loudly. This is when Roxy pulls out a prize box and tells Gregory to open it, as it contains a novelty Freddy Fazwatch. Gregory then opens up the Fazwatch as Roxy sends an encoded message. Roxy's message ends up saying, "Hello, Gregory. It's me, Roxy. I will escort you to the main entrance. However, I am unable to leave this room. You should have no problem. There is an air vent in my green room that will allow you to leave this room. I will make it accessible to you now." With Roxy jumping up and removing the grate from the air vent and giving Gregory a boost up, allowing him to access the air vent. From here, events play out similarly to canon, with Gregory making his way out of the air vent and to the entrance of Roxy's green room. Gregory arrives to the green room and figures out the door won't open, with Roxy saying, "Oh, you're going to need a photo pass to open the door. Sorry, I assumed you have one already. Well, you should be able to find one at a convenience counter." With Gregory making his way to the convenience counter and grabbing the photo pass. Gregory then makes his way back to Roxy's green room, with Roxy saying, "Good job, Rockstar. I knew you could do it." With Roxy telling Gregory to hide in her hair again. As Gregory does this, I decided to have Roxy's method of carrying Gregory be different to Freddy's, since due to the slimmer build of her endoskeleton, she wouldn't be able to have the chest cavity that Freddy has in canon, with Roxy suggesting that they go through the utility tunnels, due to them being the safest method of getting Gregory to the exit of the Pizzaplex. Roxy and Gregory arrive at the stairwell as they hear Vanessa call out for Gregory. "Hello, little boy. If you're down here, say something," with Gregory telling the wolf to go back. Although Roxy reassures Gregory that she wouldn't expect them to be traveling together. Although they probably should do their best to avoid her just in case. With the two moving forward after this until Roxy stops and sees that Gregory is injured and bleeding. With Gregory saying that he must have gotten cut in the vent earlier. Roxy then says that she's going to take him to the first aid station, with Vanessa arriving after Gregory hides in the first aid, with Roxy deciding to cover for Gregory. "Roxy, you're supposed to be on lockdown." "Officer Vanessa, I don't know how I got here." "Well, you totally blew it tonight. Like, your system crashed and you ruined the show. Now, parts in service have you on reduced power. I said it's a safety precaution. Just one more thing to deal with." With Roxy apologizing, although Vanessa says, "Okay, look, we're like 15 minutes from closing and some kid is sneaking around backstage. If you see anything, notify me immediately. I already learned Freddy and the others. Now, go back to your room." With Gregory saying that he told her she was after him, with Roxy reassuring him that she said nothing. With Gregory hopping back into Roxy's hair. After making sure Gregory is secure, Roxy and Gregory continue on their journey. Although Gregory notices that Roxy is talking to herself, with Gregory deciding to ask the animatronic wolf about this. Roxy immediately brushes off the question, with Roxy saying that they are now under the Pizzaplex. Gregory then asks if they can go anywhere in the building, as Roxy says, "Correct. Fazbear, Monty Golf, and my personal favorite, Roxy Raceway. They are all accessible to staff. With high enough clearance, of course. Guests are never allowed down here, but yours is a special situation." Roxy and Gregory then continue on until Roxy runs out of power, with her saying, "I am terribly sorry. The recharge cycle is not yet completed when I found you. You must continue without me. I will guide you on your Fazwatch in case you get into any trouble." As Roxy gets into the recharge station, Gregory then sees a set of double doors and walks down a hallway, although the way is blocked. So Gregory decides to go through the nearby bathroom. Gregory then notices Glamrock Chica eating out of the garbage, and decides to ask Roxy about it on his Fazwatch. The animatronic wolf then says, "Chica has always been obsessed with food, to the point where she ends up eating out of the garbage after hours." Gregory then heads back out the door he came in and knocks over some paint cans, which has the positive effect of distracting Chica, allowing Gregory to sneak past her and move further to the entrance of the Pizzaplex. After this, Gregory manages to make it through a few more rooms until he spots a long hallway with a lot of machinery inside. While inside, he encounters Monty after he busts down a weird-looking gate, with the animatronic gator chasing after him rather slowly. It's mainly because Monty is the slowest of the four main Glamrocks, with Gregory navigating this hallway while being chased by Monty. He ends up seeing Glamrock Freddy clawing at a door, trying to open the door so he can get to Gregory. Gregory then finds another set of double doors and then goes through them, finding an entrance to a set of stairs. Although as Gregory sees it, Glamrock Chica runs through some boxes and joins in chasing Gregory. Gregory, knowing if he tries going back the way he came, either Monty or Glamrock Freddy will catch him. So Gregory decides instead to go up the flight of stairs, with Gregory finding a door with what looks to be a security badge on it. Gregory enters the door as Roxy communicates with him on his Fazwatch, saying, "Well done, Gregory. You found a security office. You should be quite safe here. The doors were designed to keep our highly trained security staff safe in the event of an emergency, as long as the doors stay closed, which they will, as long as there is ample power." Gregory then looks out the window, seeing Monty banging on the door, with him telling Roxy that, "Roxy, the power is only at 50% and they're pounding on the door. How am I gonna get out of here?" With Roxy telling the boy, "Do not panic. You can see an interface on the security desk. Hold on while I will make it accessible to you. There. You can now activate security protocols." With Gregory pushing the button and taking a look at the security cameras on his Fazwatch, as he sees that the other door in the security office is not being watched by animatronic, as Gregory decides to make a run for it. Although he finds Glamrock Chica patrolling the next hallway. Luckily for Gregory, Glamrock Chica gets distracted by some garbage, so Gregory is able to make a beeline towards the front entrance. Although, by the time Gregory makes it to the doors, the clock strikes midnight, meaning the doors close, which is part of the nighttime protocols. Gregory then freaks out, saying, No, wait, I'm still here!" As Roxy communicates to Gregory, "How unfortunate, Gregory. You missed your chance. But there is still hope. You should be able to escape when the security doors reopen at 6 a.m. Until then, keep moving, and try not to draw attention to yourself. If there is another way out, I will help you find it. I promise." With Gregory deciding to explore the area a bit until he finds a prize box containing one free complimentary entry ticket. Roxy then says, "Well done, Rockstar. You've accessed the lobby. Unfortunately, that complimentary entry ticket does not allow you to enter the pizzeria. You can find an upgrade machine in customer service." Gregory then sees a way up, with him going to Glamrock Gifts first. But Gregory then sees that the gift shop is being patrolled by a staff bot, with Gregory knowing if he gets caught by the staff bot, it could potentially alert Glamrock Chica, who is also patrolling the lobby to his location. And if that happens, it certainly won't end well for Gregory. Gregory manages to evade the staff bot and makes it to the bottom floor, with Gregory noticing a gift box with the Glamrock Gifts free gift inside. Gregory opens up the box and says, "A crappy Mr. Hippo fridge magnet. Lame." Roxy then communicates to Gregory on his Fazwatch, apologizing for the lame gift. Gregory then sees a pair of buttons, with both opening another way out of Glamrock Gifts. Gregory decides to press both buttons. That way, if he gets cornered by Glamrock Chica again, he'd have two ways to escape her. Gregory then decides to check the Fazpad, the other location in the lobby, which may be connected to customer service, where he'll be able to upgrade his ticket and allow him to access the atrium. Gregory makes his way to the Fazpad, although he sees that, like with Glamrock Gifts, it's being patrolled by a staff bot. So Gregory has to figure a way out run away past the bot. Gregory then notices that the counter isn't blocked off, so he could use it as cover to avoid detection by the staff bot. Luckily for Gregory, this works, allowing him to sneak into the Fazpad kitchen. Gregory then notices a set of stairs leading to another set of rooms. One to the left, pointing him to customer service, and the other pointing him to lost and found. For now, he decides to check out customer service so he can upgrade his ticket. To access the atrium, Gregory finds a kiosk that's able to upgrade his ticket, although the kiosk eats his ticket. Gregory then informs Roxy that the machine ate his pass. So Roxy says, "Try that terrible magnet you found." Gregory notices that the magnet scrambled the machine, causing it to spit out a daycare pass. Roxy then says, "That is great news. I will meet you in the daycare. The entrance is on the second floor balcony." After this, Gregory notices another button and presses it, opening a gate and allowing Gregory to exit customer service. Gregory then makes his way back up to the second floor and to the daycare entrance, managing to avoid getting spotted by Glamrock Chica. Gregory makes his way throughout the hallway leading to the daycare. And as Gregory reaches the daycare, Roxy communicates to him on his Fazwatch, saying, "Gregory, I am unable to reach you. Check the daycare security desk for a security badge, then let me in." Gregory then sees that the only way to the daycare that he can access at the moment is going down the slide. Gregory hops in the slide and sliding into a giant ball pit. Gregory makes it into the exit of the ball pit, although he's greeted by the daycare attendant, Sun. Gregory notes that Sun sounds like he's rather energetic, although Sun won't let him escape and get to the security desk to let Roxy in. Gregory tries to find something to distract Sun, managing to find a stack of cans. The boy then knocks them down, allowing Gregory to make a run for the security desk. Gregory then sees something that looks like Freddy's head, with Gregory grabbing the flashlight out of it. Gregory also notices something on the desk that looks like Freddy's head with the police cap on. So Gregory presses down on the nose with the head opening, revealing the security badge. However, just as Gregory takes the badge, the lights go out as Sun starts freaking out, saying, "No! No! Why would you do that? Lights on! Lights on! I warned you! I warned you!" Sun then falls over and reveals his much creepier alter ego, Moon, with the animatronic saying, "Naughty boy! Naughty boy! It's past your bedtime! You must be punished! Nighty night!" Roxy then communicates to Gregory saying, "Gregory, I do not know what you did, but the lights are on the daycare. You need to find the emergency backup generators and turn them on. They are in the play structures." After this, the Moon boss fight can go as canon, since Roxy helping Gregory wouldn't exactly change things, since Freddy didn't help you in the original at this point. Well, at this point of the game. Anyway, Tyrannus, hey, decide. Let's record this. After this, the Moon boss fight can go as canon, with Gregory climbing into the play structures and turning on the generators to restore power to the daycare. Gregory then tries to take this time to let Roxy in, although he's caught by Sun, with Sun telling Gregory that because he broke the #1 rule of the daycare, He's banned from the daycare, with Son alerting the other animatronics to his location. Roxy then tells Gregory to hop in her hair so they can escape the daycare. Gregory and Roxy make it up the stairs as the power to the Pizzaplex goes out, with the animatronic wolf saying, "We are almost out of time. We need to get to the recharge station immediately." Every hour, the power is diverted to the recharge stations. When that happens, the lights go out. And when that happens, the daycare attendant is free to roam the building. He will find you. Luckily for Gregory, him and Roxy managed to make it to the recharge station in time. Although Gregory's vision goes blurry for a bit, as he sees what looks like to be someone in a rabbit costume, with Gregory asking, "What was that?" Roxy then replies, "That is a fountain. A fountain is a decorative reservoir used for discharging water." After Gregory and Roxy get out of the recharge station, Gregory says, "Not the fountain? You didn't see the dancing rabbit lady? Right in front of us?" Roxy then says, "No, I did not. There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore." We resume our tale right where we left off as Roxy and Gregory emerge from the recharge station, with Gregory saying, "This is crazy. It's like the whole place is trying to get me." Roxy reassures Gregory that she isn't trying to get him, with Gregory asking why that is. Roxy says, "I do not know. I want to help you. Maybe they want to help you too." Gregory and Roxy start heading back towards the lobby, with Roxy giving Gregory the good news that the doors will open in 5 more hours. Although Gregory starts panicking a bit, saying, "Good news? 5 hours? I'm not gonna last 5 minutes!" As Roxy tries reassuring Gregory, saying, "Do not panic. If we get separated again, you can always call me on your Fazwatch. As long as I have power, and I am able to reach you." With Roxy giving him the ability to call her on his Fazwatch. A couple minutes pass with Gregory and Roxy arrive in the lobby, with Roxy telling Gregory, "We should get moving. You can access the main atrium with your new security badge." With Gregory arriving at one of the elevators and getting inside. Roxy then tells Gregory that she's identified 2 possible exit points: the main loading dock under the first floor food court, and the prize counter fire escape on the 3rd floor. After a few minutes, our duo arrives at the atrium, with Gregory being grabbed by a bot. Gregory, thinking this may be the end for him, tries to get away, but the bot says,
"Hi, please take this map. Take a map."
As the bot hands Gregory a Faz map. Roxy then asks Gregory if she can see the map for a brief second, with the animatronic wolf marking both available exit points on Gregory's map using one of her nails. Afterward, Roxy hands Gregory back the map, with Gregory deciding to head towards the prize counter. But Gregory discovers that the entrance to the prize counter is blocked. As Roxy communicates to him on his Fazwatch, it looks like you'll need to use an after-hours party pass to access the prize counter. Of course, you could access the prize counter through the East Arcade security office. Gregory then moves on to trying to get into the East Arcade, so he'll be able to get to the prize counter fire escape and leave the Pizzaplex. As Roxy communicates to him that the door to El Chips is open, and that he'll be able to access the East Arcade through there. Gregory manages to make it over to El Chips, although he notices that a door will only open part of the way, with Roxy deciding to chime in on his Fazwatch, saying, "I must warn you, when you enter an area where you do not have a locator map signal, I will be unable to reach your location. You can update your minimap at a security office. Be set." Gregory arrives at El Chips, with the boy noticing that there are no security bots here, and only what looks to be a robotic janitor. The boy decides that it would be best to avoid it, since if it's anything like the security bots, it will most likely alert Freddy, Monty, and Chica to his location. And if he gets caught by them, it won't be pretty. Before heading to the East Arcade's security office, Gregory decides to explore El Chips a bit, being careful as to not alert the mop bot. While doing this, Gregory finds another prize box in the kitchen, with the boy wondering what's inside, as he decides to open it, revealing a can of soda with a picture of Monty on the can. Roxy chimes in on Gregory's Fazwatch saying, "Well done, Rockstar! You have found a can of Fizzy Faz. Drinking this will increase your stamina, allowing you to outrun the other animatronics and get to a hiding spot a lot easier if you are spotted by them." Gregory does as told, allowing his stamina to increase by a decent margin. There are 4 collectible cans of Fizzy Faz in the game that can upgrade Gregory's stamina, allowing him to run for longer, which can be helpful in outrunning animatronics. I decided to include them in the story along with Gregory's other upgrades to give him an edge against the Glamrock band. Gregory then tosses the can into the proper receptacle, heads further on to the East Arcade, managing to avoid the Mopbot's gaze. After a couple minutes, Gregory arrives at the East Arcade, as Roxy calls Gregory on his Fazwatch, saying, "Nice job, Gregory. You are in the East Arcade. You should be able to get to the prize counter through the security office. Look for the door with the security badge symbol on it." Gregory then starts exploring the East Arcade as he sees that Freddy is patrolling this area. Gregory knows that if he gets caught by Freddy, it's game over for him. So Gregory decides to be careful to avoid him. However, this doesn't work, with Freddy spotting him and giving chase, as Gregory uses his newly increased stamina to try and outrun Freddy. As he sees an empty stroller, Gregory decides to try and hide in the stroller until Freddy leaves and the coast is clear, deciding to check the East Arcade security cameras on his Fazwatch to see if Freddy has left the area yet. Luckily for Gregory, Freddy is nowhere to be seen, so Gregory is clear to go to the door, with Gregory finding out that he needs a much higher security level to use this door, with the boy communicating this to Roxy on his Fazwatch. Animatronic Wolf then tells Gregory that she knows of another path to the prize counter, saying, "Head past the Superstar Arcade wall, to the back of the arcade. There is a roll-up door at the very back, which leads to the prize counter." Gregory does as told, while being as careful as possible to not get spotted by Freddy or the security bots, since while he'll be able to outrun Freddy and reach a hiding spot, thanks to that can of Fizzy Faz he drank earlier, he decides not to try and risk it. Gregory manages to use his newly improved stamina to avoid Freddy and arrives at the roll-up door, as Gregory notices that the door won't open. As Gregory asks Roxy why a pizzeria would need so much security, with the animatronic Wolf saying, "They are required safety measures due to past issues. Look for another way in." As Gregory notices that there's an open air vent behind a bunch of arcade machines, with Gregory making it into the vent, as here's a bit of music playing from the vent. But he disregards this for now, needing to get into the prize counter security office. Gregory hops into the vent, crawling through, as he hears something drop down behind him, as the brown-haired boy notices that it looks like a small clockwork toy with symbols for hands, as it starts chasing Gregory, with the brown-haired boy having to sprint through the vent to avoid being caught by the wind-up toy, since if it's anything like the other characters that have been chasing him during the night, being caught by the toy may alert Vanessa to his location. And if that happens, it may not end well. Gregory manages to duck and weave his way through the air vent, managing to arrive just outside the prize counter security office, with the brown-haired boy deciding to head inside and check it out. Roxy then communicates to Gregory on his Fazwatch, telling him to look for the security badge. Gregory finds the badge and grabs it, although as he grabs it, an alarm starts blaring, putting the security office on lockdown. Gregory asks Roxy what's going on, with the animatronic wolf saying, "Do not panic, that office is now on lockdown. I can deactivate the alarm, but it will take some time. If you feel you are in danger, close the doors, but you cannot keep them closed forever. There is limited power available during a lockdown. If you run out of power, the doors will no longer close. I suggest you only close the doors when absolutely necessary." Gregory checks the cameras on his Fazwatch, seeing Freddy and Monty coming at him from both sides. Gregory closes the doors and waits for them to leave, which after a few seconds, they do, allowing Gregory to open the doors, allowing him to reserve power. After a few minutes of back and forth of Gregory closing the office doors when Freddy and Monty approach, and opening them up when they leave, Roxy manages to get the alarm shut off, allowing Gregory to leave the security office and head to the prize counter. Gregory checks the cameras before going to the prize counter, seeing that Monty is patrolling the entrance area, with the brown-haired boy making sure to be careful to avoid him. Gregory manages to avoid the robotic alligator, with Roxy chiming in on Gregory's Fazwatch, telling him to head to the VIP room at the prize counter to find the fire escape, so he can leave the Pizzaplex. Gregory notices that Freddy is patrolling the outside area of the prize counter, so Gregory will have to do his best to avoid him, with the brown-haired boy managing to get past Freddy and into a circular room with the window looking into the Mega Pizzaplex's lobby. Gregory decides to explore the circular room, finding a roll-up door that leads to a hallway, with Gregory seeing a pair of double doors with a red rope in front of them. Gregory then approaches the double doors, but they won't open. Roxy then chimes in on his Fazwatch saying, "Nice work, Rockstar! You found the fire escape! Unfortunately, I do not think there is a way to reach it without becoming a VIP. It is not a very good emergency system. You are lucky there is not a fire. I have lodged a formal complaint," as Roxy tells Gregory to make his way back to her so they can plan their next move. As Freddy approaches, about to start chasing Gregory, Gregory then flees the scene, deciding to hop into a nearby baby stroller until Freddy leaves the area. Gregory flees the scene, deciding to hop into a nearby baby stroller until Freddy leaves the area. A few minutes pass, with Gregory deciding to head back the way he came, due to it being the quickest way back to the elevator. Gregory arrives back at the main prize counter, noticing that Freddy is patrolling the area where the elevator's at. So Gregory decides to hide behind a desk and check the cameras, waiting for Freddy to have his back to the elevator so he can make a beeline for it. A few minutes pass, with Freddy having his back to the elevator, allowing the brown-haired boy to run towards the elevator, using his newly improved stamina. Gregory arrives in the elevator, planning to head back down to the atrium. Although to his shock, the map bot from earlier ends up prying the elevator door open as it tries to hand Gregory another Faz map. It's someone pushing the map bot out of the way and grabbing Gregory, as it's revealed to be Vanessa. Vanessa then knocks out Gregory and brings him to the Pizzaplex Lost and Found. A few minutes pass as Gregory wakes up on the floor of the Lost and Found. As Gregory says, "Where am I? Look at all this stuff! Roxy! Roxy, are you there?" With the brown-haired boy deciding to look around a bit, realizing he's trapped. But just then, Gregory hears something playing on the monitors, or on the desk, with it being revealed to be Vanessa, the security guard from earlier, saying, I'll bet you think you're real clever, Gregory. Yeah, I know your name. You're in big trouble. This is not the night to be wasting my time. So you are going to wait right there in Lost and Found until your parents or the police arrive. As the monitors flicker for a second, with Vanessa being replaced by the rabbit lady Gregory saw earlier in the night, with the rabbit lady asking if he's having fun yet. Gregory then realizes that the rabbit lady might be coming to the Lost and Found, so Gregory tries to find a way to escape, as he sees another prize box, like the one he saw in El Chips. So Gregory decides to open it, with the contents being a screwdriver. Gregory, seeing a nearby air vent, decides to use his newly acquired screwdriver to get the cover off, allowing Gregory to escape the Lost and Found before the rabbit lady has a chance to grab him. Gregory then communicates to Roxy on his fast watch, saying that the rabbit lady found him, as Roxy says in a rather weak-sounding voice, Gregory, if you get this message, come to the Roxy Raceway entrance on the second floor. I piled up some boxes so you can hop over the construction fence and find me. Something is jamming my communications signal. Come to the Roxy Raceway. Gregory manages to make it to the elevator, allowing him to escape to the atrium. A few minutes pass, with the elevator arriving at the atrium, allowing Gregory to bolt towards the Roxy Raceway entrance, still being chased by the rabbit lady. Luckily for Gregory, he manages to outrun her, allowing him to reach the Roxy Raceway and seeing the boxes that Roxy told him about. Gregory climbs them and heads into the area, being surprised to see Roxy on the ground, barely being able to move. We resume our tale right where we left off, as Gregory finds Roxy in a damaged state, barely being able to move, as the animatronic wolf says, "There you are. I was so worried. I waited and waited for you. I missed the hourly recharge and have been trying to get down the parts and service. I think something is wrong." Roxy then explains that parts and service is down under the main stage, and that normally the stage lift takes her down there after every concert, with it being the only way that she knows how to get there. Roxy then tells Gregory to use the door behind her, as it'll help him be able to get to the rehearsal room on the other side of the building. He should be able to find the backstage pass and find the lift controls if he can. After saying this, Roxy then says, "Good luck, Rockstar." Entering rest mode. Gregory then says that he'll do his best, as the brown-haired boy sees the door Roxy was talking about, and sees a flashlight recharging station next to it. Gregory then decided to stick his flashlight in it, allowing him to recharge his light, which will definitely aid him on his journey across the building to the rehearsal room. Gregory then heads through the door, with the brown-haired boy noticing a bunch of forklifts and other equipment. Eventually, Gregory manages to make his way through the area as he finds a massive storage area. Gregory then decides to take a second to note his surroundings as he sees Freddy patrolling the area with quite a few security bots. Gregory then sees a hallway that could possibly lead to the rehearsal room Roxy was talking about, although he sees that Freddy is currently patrolling the area, so he should try to do something to distract him so he can get to the hallway. Some time passes as Gregory walks through the area towards the hallway, but he is grabbed by a security bot, as the bot sounds the alarm for Freddy to find him, as Gregory tries looking for a spot to hide, with the brown-haired boy managing to hide behind a stack of heavy boxes. Gregory then uses his Faz watch to check the cameras to see if the coast is clear, which luckily for him it is, as Gregory decides to leave the comfort of his makeshift hiding spot and arrives at the hallway that he pointed out earlier. Gregory then decides to make his way through it as he manages to go through the hallway, managing to avoid any security bots and Freddy, although this for much longer, as Gregory is grabbed by another security bot, as Freddy starts chasing him again. But luckily for Gregory, he manages to arrive at the exit of the hallway, going through it and arriving at the rehearsal room, with the brown-haired boy saying, "Roxy said I could find a backstage pass around here somewhere." Gregory then decides to search every nook and cranny of the rehearsal room to look for a backstage pass, as Gregory heads into a closet in the area, finding another prize box, as the brown-haired boy decides to open it, thinking he's managed to find a backstage pass, although he ends up finding a battery upgrade for his flashlight. For seeing this, Gregory is a bit bummed they didn't find a backstage pass, but he thinks that this upgrade for his flashlight should help. Afterwards, Gregory gets back on the search for the backstage pass, with Gregory eventually finding another prize box, as Gregory decides to open it up, managing to find the coveted backstage pass, saying, "Got it! Now I should be able to find the lift controls." Afterwards, the brown-haired boy decides to exit the backstage area, knowing there isn't much else for him here at the moment, as Gregory navigates the area, finding his way back to Rockstar Row, the place where his adventure with Roxy began. Gregory then finds a door with a label next to it, reading "to stage controls," as Gregory thinks that this must be where the lift controls are. Gregory then heads into the area, climbing the stairs, and finds an area with two doors, one with a guitar and the other with a bass guitar. As Gregory enters one of the doors, seeing a layout similar to a security office, with the brown-haired boy seeing this and thinking, "If this is supposed to be a security office as well, then I may be able to find a security badge and the lift controls in one fell swoop." Gregory then decides to look around the area as he sees a familiar sight, a Freddy Fazbear head with a security hat on it, as Gregory opens it up and finds another security badge, giving him level 3 clearance. But just then, a familiar alarm sounds, with Gregory also finding an odd disc. After finding these items, Gregory then hears a familiar voice, as it's revealed to be Roxy talking to Gregory on the monitor, saying, "Gregory, what did you do? Something happened. I can communicate again. I think you fixed my signal. Thank you." Gregory then says that he can see her on the monitor before asking his friend how she's standing, with the animatronic wolf saying, "Consider it a second wind." Gregory then tells Roxy that he can see Freddy and Monty on the cameras, as Roxy says not to let them in, as the security doors are equipped with electrical deterrents, as the shocks should stun them if they're banging on the doors. After explaining this, Roxy then asks Gregory, "Do you see the large vent on the floor? You're probably standing right on top of it. If I can reach the room under you, I should be able to force it open and let you out." Roxy then sees that all the doors are on lockdown, as the wolf tells Gregory to look for her on the monitors and hit the corresponding button if he sees her waving. But just then, the rabbit lady appears on the monitor saying, "There you are. See you soon." As Roxy then says, "Hurry, Gregory! I cannot stop her!" Gregory then hears Roxy on a nearby monitor saying to open the door, as Gregory does as told. A few minutes pass, with Gregory repeating the sequence of running to the monitors to open doors for Roxy, while also stopping Freddy and Monty from banging on the doors with the electrical deterrents. As Gregory hears Roxy's voice coming from the vent, telling him to jump down. Gregory does as told before the rabbit lady gets a chance to grab him, with Gregory happy that Roxy saved him, although he tells the wolf that he wasn't able to find any lift controls, but he was able to find an odd disc. Roxy then asks the boy to let her see the disc, as Roxy says that it's a performance disc, and playing it should activate the lift down to parts and service. After this, Gregory follows Roxy through a hallway leading back to the atrium, as the two arrive on the main stage, with Roxy saying, "Gregory, my systems are failing. Go to the sound booth on the 3rd floor balcony. Run the performance program on that disc, and then meet me back on the stage. Please hurry. You do not have much time. It is almost the end of the hour. I will wait here. As Gregory sees that Monty is operating a searchlight, an army of security bots are patrolling on the ground, meaning he will have to do his best to avoid them. And more importantly, the searchlight, as it may draw the other 3 animatronics to his location. After thinking about this, Gregory decides to navigate the 1st floor of the atrium very carefully as to avoid the searchlight and any security bots, with Gregory managing to arrive on the 2nd floor without being spotted. As soon as Gregory arrives on the 2nd floor, he sees more security bots, this time patrolling with Freddy, and so Gregory decides to use his environment to his advantage by using nearby kiddie rides as distraction tools, distracting Freddy long enough to allow Gregory to bolt towards the 3rd floor escalator. Gregory finally arrives on the 3rd floor as he sees Chica patrolling the area, as Gregory decides to stealthily approach the sound booth, with the brown-haired boy managing to arrive at the sound booth and play the performance disc as a song by the Glamrock band starts playing. Gregory, seeing this, notes that the lift controls must be activated, but he should hurry back to the stage. A few minutes pass as Gregory manages to arrive on the stage, managing to avoid Glamrock Chica on the 2nd floor, in addition to Freddy and Monty on the 1st, as the brown-haired boy presses the button, activating the lift to him and Roxy down to parts and service. But just then, the lights go out as Gregory sees the daycare attendant, with the brown-haired boy pointing him out to Roxy. Roxy then tells Gregory to hurry to the recharge station, with the brown-haired boy doing as told, arriving at the recharge station and getting inside, as Roxy collapses right behind him, with the daycare attendant appearing and grabbing the wolf by her legs and dragging her into parts and service. Gregory then exits the recharge station and tries to open the door to parts and service, but he discovers he needs level 4 security clearance to get in. After this, Gregory then decides to try and communicate to Roxy on his Fazwatch, but the wolf doesn't respond. Gregory then thinks to himself that if he wants to get into parts and service, he'll need another security badge. Gregory then decides to explore the area outside parts and service as he's grabbed by the map bot from earlier, being handed another map of the utility hallway. As Gregory heads into the utility hallway, finding a hostile animatronic without any casing on, Gregory tries figuring out a way past it as he decides to hide, with the mysterious animatronic moving forward. As Gregory figures out that this animatronic only moves when he isn't directly looking at it, Gregory decides to use this to his advantage, hiding until the animatronic is out of sight, allowing Gregory to proceed into a nearby air vent, which should lead him further into the utility hallway. Gregory then makes his way through the vent, before being hunted again by the wind-up clockwork toy from earlier, although Gregory manages to outrun it again, arriving in a new area. Gregory then sees an entrance and decides to go through it, arriving in a warehouse containing endoskeletons, the innards of the Glamrock animatronics, as Gregory assumes that thing that was hunting him earlier must have been one of those Glamrock endoskeletons. Gregory then makes his way through the hallway, as this doesn't really change from the canon timeline, due to Roxy being out of commission, with Gregory eventually arriving at a security office, taking the security badge from it as he's surrounded by multiple Glamrock endoskeletons as they start chasing him. So Gregory decides to make a beeline for the exit of the warehouse, arriving back at the air vent that brought him there in the first place, and seeing no other option of escape, climbs back inside of it. And after Gregory has another encounter with the wind-up toy, Gregory arrives back where he started, as he heads off to parts and service to rescue Roxy. A few minutes pass, with the brown-haired boy arriving at parts and service, as he sees Vanessa interrogating Roxy. As Vanessa then says, and if she's involved with this, she's scrap. And to hang out down here until they can put her casing on a new endo. As the blonde woman leaves to go look for Gregory. After all this, Gregory walks in and finds Roxy, with the wolf saying, "Gregory, I'm so glad you are here and alive," before telling Gregory to use the console to let her out. Gregory does so, opening up the cylinder, as Roxy then asks Gregory if he can reattach her head, with the brown-haired boy saying that it looks complicated, as Roxy tells Gregory to reconnect the wires and to be careful, as she isn't quite herself at the moment. From here, events line up with canon, as Gregory manages to reattach Roxy's head, with the pair leaving the protective cylinder. Afterwards, Gregory then asks Roxy if there are any ways to stop the other bots from hunting him, as Roxy points out that bright lights in the eyes can cause them to briefly malfunction, mentioning the Phaser Blaster that Gregory could win in Phaser Blast, and that Phazcams are often confiscated in Monty Golf, although they would need a party pass to acquire one of those items. Roxy then says that Chica usually gives out party passes for birthdays, so they could check her green room for one. Afterwards, the two friends then head out of parts and service using one of the service elevators, although Roxy points out that they're all out of order except for Freddy's. In canon, they are all out of order except for Roxy's. Since Roxy and Freddy swap roles, I felt like swapping their service elevators made sense. Before they head into the service elevator, Gregory sees a set of posters regarding special parts for Chica, Monty, and Freddy, saying that they could upgrade Roxy. But Roxy then shoots this down, as those parts belong to her friends, and she'd never want to hurt them. Gregory then says that all they've been doing all night is trying to hurt him. Roxy then says that there must be an explanation for this, as they would never hurt a guest. It goes against their programming. Gregory then points out that he's here after hours and that she said he wasn't in the customer database, so they probably assumed he was an intruder. After this, the two friends then head down the hall to Freddy's service elevator, hopping in and after a few minutes, arriving outside Freddy's green room in Rockstar Row. Roxy then tells Gregory to hop into the air vent and head into Chica's green room, and that she will meet him outside Chica's green room after the hourly recharge. Gregory then climbs into the air vent, with this playing out like canon, with the brown-haired boy having another encounter with the wind-up toy as Gregory jumps into Chica's green room from the air vent, as Gregory finds a prize box from Chica's mirror, with Gregory opening it up, finding the party pass that Roxy told him about. But just then, the lights go out, as Roxy yells at Gregory through his Fazwatch, telling him to hurry to the recharge station before the daycare attendant gets him, with the brown-haired boy outside of Chica's green room into her recharge station. We resume our tale right where we left off, with Gregory in the recharge station in Chica's green room, with the brown-haired boy exiting the recharge station and deciding to leave Chica's green room. Afterwards, Roxy appears just like she said she would, saying, "Gregory, that party pass is very special. It will let you into Phaser Blast or Monty Golf. However, it can only be used once." Roxy then says afterward, "Gregory, if I can make a suggestion, I think using your party pass at Monty Golf would make more sense, as the Phazcam will allow you to more effectively stop the other bots from hunting you." Gregory agrees to this, as Gregory hops into Roxy's hair, allowing the two to head back to the atrium to find Phaser Blast and Monty Golf. The pair explore Rockstar Row, looking for a way back to the atrium. with the pair eventually finding a shutter door that could potentially lead to the atrium, as Gregory sees the same shutter door that leads to where Gregory got the photo pass earlier in the night. With the brown-haired boy getting off Roxy and heading inside, before telling the animatronic wolf to go around and meet him in the atrium. Gregory heads into the area, looking around for another shutter door, eventually finding one that leads to a new area, which contains a path leading to somewhere, with the brown-haired boy deciding to explore it, thinking to himself, where does this path go? A few minutes pass as Gregory arrives at the end of the path, finding another shutter door, with the brown-haired boy heading through it and arriving in the atrium. Shortly after this, Roxy runs over to Gregory, saying, there you are, as Gregory hops back into Roxy's hair, with the pair making their way towards Monty Golf, an indoor miniature golf course themed after the Glamrock band's bass player. After a few minutes, the pair arrive at a shutter door, which is designated as the entrance to Monty Golf, with the two friends heading inside and see a lobby area that's completely decked out with a jungle swamp-like aesthetic. Gregory hops off Roxy and approaches the party bot guarding the elevator, which presumably takes the inhabitants to the Monty Golf attraction itself. Gregory then hands the party bot his party pass, as the party bot does some sort of weird dance afterwards. Before leaving, the pair then headed into the elevator as Gregory presses the button allowing the elevator to go down to Monty Golf. And during the ride, Gregory hears Monty's voice on the loudspeaker, saying, welcome to Monty's Gated Golf, home of the Hurricane Hole-in-One. We're currently closed for the night, so come back soon. A few minutes pass as the elevator opens, revealing the massive mini-golf attraction, with Gregory seeing a few security bots patrolling the course. Gregory asks Roxy if she can help him get through this part of Monty Golf, as the animatronic wolf says to hop on. Gregory hops into Roxy's hair, and the two start heading through the Monty Golf course. A few minutes pass as the pair arrive at the Monty Golf Cafe, with Gregory hopping off of Roxy and heading inside, as Gregory sees another door with a security badge symbol on it, with the brown-haired boy thinking to himself, maybe there's a security office around here. Gregory then heads in the door, deciding to explore the area, opening a random door and finding the security office. The brown-haired boy then opens the doors to the security office, finding two prize boxes and a duffel bag, as well as a familiar Freddy Fazbear head with a security hat on it. Gregory then grabs the security badge as an alarm sounds. Roxy then chimes in on his fast watch saying, Gregory, they know you are here! Get the security upgrade and get out! Gregory does as told, but he grabs both of the prize boxes, shoving them into the duffel bag, and deciding to open them once he's back with Roxy. A couple minutes pass as the brown-haired boy arrives at Roxy's location, as the wolf is surprised at the two prize boxes and duffel bag. Roxy then says that they need to get to a hiding spot so Gregory can find out what is in those boxes in the bag, with the pair heading into a photo booth, as Gregory proceeds to open the first prize box, opening up and finding some sort of ticket. As the wolf says, you found the Mazer size ticket! Now you can enter Mazer size! Gregory then grabs the second box out of the bag, opening it and pulling out an old-looking camera, as Roxy tells Gregory, that is a fast cam. If you are in trouble, use the camera flash to stun the other animatronics. Keep in mind that it will not work on Monty due to his sunglasses. Afterwards, Roxy notices something else in the duffel bag, pulling it out, as it's revealed to be a message talking about a vent in Mazer size that leads to the catwalks over Monty Golf. Roxy then tells Gregory that Monty often likes to hang out on the catwalks. Gregory and Roxy then leave the photo booth and see no other current business in Monty Golf. The pair decide to leave. Gregory hops back into Roxy's hair and heads out to Monty Golf, reaching the elevator that brought them here, getting inside, and leaving Monty Golf behind. A few minutes pass as the pair arrive back in the Monty Golf lobby and head back outside, as Roxy tells Gregory that Mazer Size is on the 3rd floor, so that should be their next destination. Eventually, Gregory and Roxy head up a nearby escalator and arrive up on the 3rd floor. The pair decide to explore the 3rd floor as Roxy sees the sign for Mazer Size, running towards it. Due to Gregory not being inside of her, she's able to move freely without risk of turning Gregory into a meat pretzel. The pair then see another party bot, like the one they saw in Monty Golf, as Gregory hops off of Roxy and hands the party bot his Mazer Size ticket. The pair then head into Mazer Size as they hear Chica's voice in a loudspeaker sing,
"Welcome to Mazer Size! Work off the calories while you eat! Sign up for a membership pass today! Super cool perks include discounts on pizza, nachos, fries, and cookies! Now that's the smell of fitness!"
Gregory then begins trying to look for the vent in Mazer Size that will lead him to the Monty Golf catwalks. As the boy heads to the back and sees a door and also an area that should be the maze. Gregory decides to check the door first, finding controls for the maze, although they currently don't work. After this, Gregory sees another duffel bag, and remembering what happened last time, opens the duffel bag, reading a message revealing that one of the Pizzaplex employees left the Mazer Size control key in the Fazbear theater. Gregory then meets back up with Roxy, telling her the news that they'll be able to find a control key for the maze in the Fazbear theater somewhere, as Roxy says that the entrance to the Fazbear theater is in the daycare. A few minutes pass as the pair leave Mazer Size and make their way back to the elevator to head back to the lobby, so they can go check out the daycare theater and to find the Mazer Size control key. The pair arrive back on the 2nd floor and hop back into the elevator, and after a few minutes arrive back in the Pizzaplex's lobby. Roxy and Gregory then head over to the daycare from here, avoiding the slide entrance so as to not draw attention to them by Sun. The pair then see the area being patrolled by a couple of security bots, as the pair decide to do their best to avoid them. A few minutes pass as the pair manage to avoid the security bots and make their way into the Fazbear theater, as Gregory decides to explore the theater, managing to find a back hallway leading to a storage area. The boy thinking maybe the control key is in there. After some time, Gregory finally finds a prize box, looks all the way in the back of the storage area, opening it and finding the control key, deciding to try and make his way back to Roxy so he can get back to Mazer Size. However, Gregory sees a small army of Glamrock Endos, and remembering his previous encounter with the Endos, knows he has to keep direct eye contact with them to prevent them from moving. After this, a few minutes pass, with events lining up with Cannon for a bit, allowing Gregory to escape the Fazbear Theater and meet back up with Roxy. Some time passes as the pair make their way out to the daycare and back to the elevator leading to the atrium. And after a few minutes, the pair arrive back in the atrium and head back up to Mazer Size, managing to avoid any security bots along the way. After arriving back in Mazer Size, Gregory heads back to where the control panel is, as he tells Roxy to meet him outside Monty Golf. Gregory activates the control panel and manages to press a random combo of buttons to control the maze. Gregory then leaves the area with the control panel, heads into the maze. After a bit of time, finds an air vent, which leads to the Monty Golf catwalks. After a few minutes, Gregory arrives on the catwalks and sees a cannon that shoots balls, as he decides to use it to hit 2 targets. After this, events line up with Cannon, with Gregory filling out the splash bucket with the ball cannons while avoiding Monty. Eventually, after getting it full, Gregory hits a button to activate the splash bucket, hitting Monty and causing him to fall off the catwalks, being broken in half in the process. Gregory then approaches the shattered bass player and proceeds to take his claws. Gregory then heads outside Monty Golf and meets up with Roxy, saying that they need to go to parts and service to give her an upgrade. Roxy then says, "Upgrade? What happened with Monty?" As Gregory says that there was an accident up on the catwalks, and so Gregory got Monty's claws. Roxy then asks Gregory if Monty is okay, although Gregory confesses that Monty was broken in half due to the accident. Roxy then reluctantly says to go to parts and service, but after all this is done, they are repairing Monty. From here, events line up with canon, with the pair using the stage lift to get back to on the parts and service and give these parts to Roxy. After this is said and done, the lights go out as Roxy tells Gregory that they need to get to a recharge station. We resume our tale right where we left off, as Roxy and Gregory have made their way into a recharge station. Afterwards, Gregory checks his Faz watch as the watch says 5 a.m. Roxy then says, "Gregory, good news! It is almost 6 a.m. You only have one more hour to deal with." The pair exit the recharge station and decide to plan their next move and head back up to the atrium using the stage lift. The pair arrive back up on stage and see the shattered Monty patrolling, with the wolf saying, "Do not worry, Monty, he will patch you up soon," as the pair decide to explore a bit, with the wolf saying, "Gregory, now that I've been upgraded, we can go visit the Roxy Raceway. I have not been able to go in a while due to all the construction going on. Although first, can we go check out the Glamrock Salon? I can use a touch-up, and you owe me one for scrapping one of my friends. Also, maybe you could be able to find something there to possibly stop Freddy and Chica from hunting you." Gregory agrees to this, with a pair of friends heading towards the Roxy Raceway and Glamrock Salon. After a few minutes, the pair arrive on the second floor and at the Roxy Raceway entrance, with the pair heading inside. Roxy then says that she knows the direction to the Glamrock Salon and can take it from here, dashing towards one of the two exits to this hall and arriving in the Glamrock Salon. Gregory sees quite a few security bots patrolling the area, so he tries his best to avoid the bots, deciding to explore the Glamrock Salon, looking for anything that can stop Freddy or Chica from hunting him. A few minutes pass without Gregory being able to find anything to help him, but he does manage to find an old working arcade machine labeled Princess Quest, as Gregory decides to play it, with events lining up with canon for a bit, since Roxy and Freddy swapping roles doesn't really affect the Princess Quest games. Afterwards, Gregory meets back up with Roxy, explaining that even though he failed to find anything to stop Freddy and Chica, he did find a working arcade machine and played it. Roxy tells Gregory to hop in her hair as they're heading off to Roxy Raceway. After a few minutes, the pair reach a fence with Monty's picture on it, with Gregory saying, "Maybe you could use Monty's claws to get through this fence." Roxy doing as such, slamming her new claws into the fence, allowing the wolf bot to get past the fence and head into Roxy Raceway, with the pair hearing a familiar voice over the intercom saying,
"Hey, I'm Roxanne Wolf. If you're looking for high-speed motor mayhem, Roxy Raceway is the place to be. Sign up today and be a winner. Nobody likes a loser."
The wolf bot then says, "That was not me, Gregory. That was a recording, just so you're aware." The pair decide to explore the raceway to see if there's any way to stop Freddy from hunting Gregory, with Gregory finding a go-kart, as Roxy explains that Gregory isn't tall enough to ride the kart alone, so he'll need a working driver assist head, and to check the raceway for that. And after a few minutes of searching around, Gregory finds a driver assist head, although it's damaged. After a few minutes of searching around, Gregory finds a driver assist head, although it's damaged, with the wolf bot saying that Gregory needs to take the head the staff bot repair station in the West Arcade, although he will need to get a dance pass to gain access, with the wolf bot telling him to check the party garages. After a few minutes and thoroughly checking every party garage, Gregory finally finds the dance pass and meets with Roxy to plan their next move, with the wolf bot telling Gregory to hop into her hair and they'll head to the West Arcade's entrance. From here, events line up with canon, with the pair making their way up to the 3rd floor of the atrium once again, and meet with another party bot, who takes Gregory's dance pass, allowing Gregory access to the West Arcade, although Roxy will have to wait outside, since due to her malfunction on stage earlier, he has been banned from the West Arcade, although the wolf bot tells Gregory to say hello to the DJ if he sees him. After a few minutes, Gregory arrives in the West Arcade security office, grabbing the security badge on the desk, but before putting the broken driver assist head into the repair station, the power to the West Arcade goes out. Afterwards, Roxy chimes in on his Fazwatch, with the Wolfbot saying, "Gregory, the security system knows you are here and has locked you out. Reset the breakers and restore power to the West Arcade. Then you can repair the driver assist head." Afterwards, Gregory heads out of the security office, and here events play out like canon, with Gregory managing to restore power to the West Arcade, while avoiding the shattered Monty, who is somehow still functional, Glamrock Chica, who Gregory manages to avoid by using his Fazcam, flashing Chica in her optics and causing her to malfunction, and Gregory manages to avoid the DJ, managing to reset the circuit breakers around the arcade before heading into a storage area behind the security office where the final breaker is. And during this exchange, Gregory spots another old working arcade machine labeled Princess Quest 2, with a brown-haired boy deciding to play it. And from here, events from Princess Quest 2 play out like canon, since like with Princess Quest 1, Roxy and Freddy swapping roles doesn't really affect this game. Afterwards, Gregory, he approaches the final breaker, flipping it on as he sees the DJ coming out of a massive hole in the wall. As the brown-haired boy decides to bolt towards the security office, knowing it's too small for the DJ to get into. And after a few minutes, Gregory makes it back to the security office and puts the driver assist head into the repair station, which after a few minutes, it deposits out a freshly repaired head. Afterwards, Gregory leaves the West Arcade and meets back up with Roxy, with the pair heading back to Roxy Raceway so they can reattach the head to the driver assist bot, with Gregory hopping into the cart and driving onto the track, although another cart pulls up next to him, with it being Glamrock Freddy, with the bear bot wanting to race. From here, events can line up with canon, with Gregory managing to beat Freddy in the race before running Freddy off the course, causing him to crash and shatter just like Monty did. Gregory and Roxy then run over to the wreckage, with Roxy asking Freddy if he's okay, as the bear bot says that he's still functional. After hearing this, Roxy demands Gregory take Freddy to parts and service, as they need to patch him up. Some time passes, with the pair managing to get the bear bot to parts and service and patch him up. Although Roxy notices that Freddy is currently in security mode, as she decides to turn this off while they're patching him up. After a few minutes, Freddy wakes up and asks Roxy what happened, with the Wolfbot explaining that he was on Roxy Raceway and had a nasty crash, but she and her new friend Gregory, he helped him get put back together. Afterwards, Roxy says, "Good news! It is almost 6 a.m. So if they hurry, Gregory should be able to leave the Pizzaplex," telling Freddy to help them out. Eventually, events line back up with canon, with Gregory, Roxy, and Freddy being able to get Gregory back to the lobby and into the exit. Gregory sees this and thinks of leaving, but instead, Gregory decides to stay and help Roxy fix up Monty, as Freddy gives Gregory a second party pass, allowing Gregory to be access to Fazbear. The trio then head back to the atrium and towards Fazbear, a laser tag arena themed after the Glamrock band's lead singer. The trio then approach the shutter door as it opens, revealing a space-like aesthetic. Gregory approaching the party bot, handing it the party pass, and heading inside Fazbear. After a few minutes, Gregory arrives in the Fazbear lobby and heads inside, grabbing a Fazbear Blaster and beginning the game. Since Roxy has explained about Gregory being able to win a Fazbear Blaster earlier in the night, from here, events can play out like canon, with Gregory managing to capture 3 separate objectives, while managing to avoid Glamrock Chica. Afterwards, Gregory returns the Fazbear Blaster and heads up to the Superstar Lounge, grabbing a golden Fazbear Blaster. And shortly afterward, Gregory notices an open air vent, wondering where it leads. Gregory hops into the air vent and decides to check it out, crawling through and eventually finding an odd area above Fazbear. Seeing that it looks like a hideout, with Gregory deciding to communicate this to Roxy and Freddy, that he's found the Rabbit Lady's hideout. Apparently her name is Vanny, as Freddy points out the similarities to Bunny and Vanessa. Roxy tells the boy to make his way back to them so they can plan their next move. Eventually, the boy makes it back to the 2 animatronics, with the trio thinking that maybe they can surprise Vanny if they can make her think Gregory escaped. The trio make their way to Fazbear, with Freddy and Roxy holding off the staff bots sent by Vanny, before Vanny presses a button saying, "Disassemble Freddy and Roxy," with the ravenous staff bots charging right at the pair. And since Roxy and Freddy aren't alone like Freddy was in canon, I think the 2 would be less damaged than Freddy was in canon. And from here, events can proceed like canon, although Chica isn't shattered here, since Gregory never saw the need to grab her upgrade for Roxy, and Roxy isn't present. Eventually, Gregory makes it inside Vanny's hideout and sees an arcade machine labeled Princess Quest 3. And the events with Princess Quest 3 can play out as canon, with Vanessa being freed from her mind control and the staff bots deactivating. Afterwards, Gregory and the newly changed Vanessa approach the damaged Freddy and Roxy, with the brown-haired boy saying, "Vanessa, please, we need to fix them up," with Vanessa seeing if Roxy and Freddy can still walk, which luckily, due to being less damaged, they're able to walk, while Vanessa tries luring the shattered Monty down to parts and service at Roxy's request. Some time passes, with Gregory and Vanessa being able to get Monty's security mode turned off and his endoskeleton repaired, along with repairing his casing. Also during this time, they managed to lure Chica down to parts and service and turn off security mode for her. Roxy and Freddy are also repaired during this time. After all this is said and done, the 4 animatronics meet with Gregory and Vanessa at the exit of the Pizzaplex, with Gregory promising to come back and see his new friend soon, as the pair leaves the Mega Pizzaplex. And that's where I'll end off this story. So, what did you guys think of the finale? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if this full story does well, I may consider continuing this What If into the Ruin DLC, and possibly a Security Breach sequel, if they ever decide to make one. And before I sign off for today, I'd like to thank our patrons. We have Legnos Whitey, Raven Sage, Wayne Singleton, Buster Miller, and Yenziel Cheverez. And with that said, I'll get on out of here. Peace!